Adebiyola Jocelyn. My matric number is 180319120. I'm a group member of FBA 311 Group 28, and our topic of discussion is Information Communication Technologies Enterprise Architecture. Now, what is information communication technology? ICT is the communication and the integration of telecommunication and computers, as well as enterprise system, middleware, storage and audiovisuals that enable users to transmit, access, store, manipulate and understand information. Now, what are the types of ICT used in business? There are different types of ICT used in business, namely we have extranet, internet, software, robotic, website, e-commerce, servers, digital communication hubs, and tech to facilitate home trainings. Now, my colleague will talk about hardware components, software components, and enterprise architecture.
My name is Wahab Olaimi Shashini, your matric number 190319520, business education student. I'm talking on computer system. Computer system is divided into two parts: the software component and the hardware component. The hardware component are those components we feel on touch, which are the keyboard, the hard drive, and the mouse. The software component is a set of instructions that help a computer to perform certain operation, and these instructions, we can't see them, we can't feel them, we can't touch them. And again, this software component is divided into three: the application, program, device driver, and the operating system. The application programs, it helps us to perform certain tasks, like this word processor, which we use for writing documents and so on. The spreadsheet also too, we are all familiar with this, which we use for accounting, we use to record cost, sales, and also. Moving forward to device driver. These device drivers, it assists the application program and the operating system also too. The operating system, it helps us to regulate and control the resources of a computer. These resources of the computer are the keyboard, it regulates them. And this operating system we also name as this Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows 10 also. Thank you very much.
Representing Group 28 for the FBA presentation, and I'll be speaking on hardware components. What are hardware components? Hardware components are the physical parts of a computer, like the central processing unit CPU, the mouse, and the storage. There are five main hardware components in a computer system. We have the input devices, we have the processing devices, we have the storage devices, we have the output devices, and communication devices. All these devices are used for entering data or instructions into the processing unit. The central processing unit is the brain of the computer, while the motherboard is the main circuit board for the computer. There are different types of computer hardware. We have the motherboard, we have the computer keyboard, we have the hard disk, we have the mouse, we have the expansion card, we have the microprocessor, we have the capacitor. Going back to the hardware devices can be classified into different categories. Like I said, we have the input devices for raw data input. We have the processing devices to process raw data instructions into information. We have the output devices to disseminate data and information. We have the storage devices for data and information retention. So that's all.
Yeah, good day. My name is Ayade Samolu Aferomi. Matric number 180319121. I'm here to discuss briefly on the topic network protocol and types. We say network protocol is a group of rules accompanied by the network. In other words, it is a formalized principle, rule, and composed procedure that enhance server from fraud and insecure sites. The network protocol is mainly divided into three types: the hypertext transfer protocol or hypertext transfer protocol secure, the HTTP or HTTPS, the FTP, which stands file transfer protocol, and the third one, the main third one, email protocol, which this one is subdivided into three parts: the POP3, the IMAP, and SMTP. Now I go back to the HTTP or HTTPS. The HTTP Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure is the most common and most used server which everyone use. This is a secured version which every server use in transferring files to clients and back to the server. The file transfer protocol is more like the HTTP, which is less advanced in serving the client. This is also used to transfer files from the client to server, more from server to back to the client. Then the third one, email protocols, the POP3, IMAP and SMTP. Now the SMTP stands Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, while the POP stands for Post Office Protocol, and the IMAP stands for Internet Message Access Protocol. Thank you.
I'm also here to talk about enterprise architecture. Now, what is enterprise architecture? Enterprise architecture is the conceptual blueprint that defines the structure and operation of an organization. What are the intents of enterprise architecture? The intent of EA is to determine how an organization can effectively achieve its current and future objectives. It is a way of organizing the operation and structure of an organization. Now, let me give an example. Think of an organization. Take Apple for example. Apple has a department that develops hardware. The hardware are the part of a computer technology that we can see and touch. The hardware such as the phone case, the screen, and the likes. Another department develops software like the iOS, the launcher, and the likes. Yet another department is responsible for the marketing that puts out the products to the public. So the integrated result of all these departments, the hardware developing department, the software developing department, and the marketing department is the iPhone, the production of an iPhone. All the organization units together, they have different responsibilities, but they all have one common goal, which is developing one of the best and advanced devices, which is the iPhone. So very simply, enterprise architecture outlines how an organization such as Apple should organize and operate in order to achieve their common goals. It enables an organization to evolve. We can also think of enterprise architecture. Let's imagine a ghetto. In a ghetto, the buildings are clustered and unstructured. And now let's think of a skyscraper. It is neat, it is structured, and it is modern. So let's think of a company that is like a ghetto. When they start using enterprise architecture, they evolve from a ghetto, the clustered, and business perspective. Business perspective defines the process and standards that the organization requires to operate on a daily basis. Now, the application perspective. The application perspective defines the interaction among the processes and the standards that the organization use. The information perspective, which is the third one. Information perspectives defines and classifies the raw data such as document files, databases, images, spreadsheets, etc. that the business requires to operate as an organization. The technology perspective defines the hardware, the operating system, the programming and networking tools used by the organization. Now, there are different groundworks of enterprise architecture. They are also called frameworks of enterprise architecture. We have the Zachman framework for enterprise architecture, the Unified Architecture Framework, which is also called the UAF. We have the Agile Enterprise Architecture. We have the Federal Enterprise Architecture Framework, FEAF. We have the Open Group Architecture Framework, TOGAF, It is also called the architecture development method. And last but not the least, we have the Gartner's architecture. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fashipe Miriam Mulara. I'm a student of University of Lagos Akoka from the Department of Business Organization with matric number 190319519. I'm a member of Group 28 and I'm here for the presentation of FBA 311 Business Information and Technology. And the topic before us is enterprise architecture. My colleagues have discussed about the definition, the processes involved in enterprise architecture, and I'm here to discuss about the importances attached to enterprise architecture. What are the importances of enterprise architecture? Number one is improved decision making. Since we already know the meaning of enterprise architecture, that it is a blueprint that defines how the structure and operation of an organization is going to be. So one of the importance that is attached to it is that it helps in making good and qualitative decision for the organization. Number two is that it optimizes the use of organizational assets. One of the beautiful things about enterprise architecture is that it enables optimization use or maximization use of organizational assets. We all know the meaning of assets. Assets are what the organization owns, like land and building, assets, cash, and so on and so forth. So it's thereby avoiding wastage. The number three is that it eliminates inefficient processes. Those conventional method and traditional method that the business have been using before, it enables the business organization to neglect them, thereby adopting the new method, which is what? Enterprise architecture. The number four is it supports the organizational changes for redesign. Whatever the structure or whatever the design that the organization wants to switch to, this enterprise architecture always adjusts itself to it. Then it facilitates collaboration in the project management. One of the beautiful things about it is that it also facilitates collaboration. It enables what? People to work hand in hand together in the business organization. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Welcome once again. I believe we now know the definition of ICT and the types of ICT that can be used in business. We now know the hardware components, software components, and meaning and definitions of enterprise architecture. Now, if you have any comments, questions, or critiques, you can send it to the email address on the screen. Thank you for watching.